Yeah, right there, dog. Nope. Okay. Yep. Close up. Okay. There you go. Okay. Hi guys. AJ here. Richardson Tree Farms. Uh, we've got some of our trees planted back here behind me. What we did was we went through here and got all the blue spruces put in right here. The kids came back through a couple evenings ago, put some mulch around them. Today I've got to put our irrigation lines down because I want to get a little water to all of them because the ground is dry. We got 4 inches of rain in a matter of about 36 hours. Hasn't rained since. The ground was still pretty moist, but I still want to throw some water down on top of them just to be on the safe side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. Looks like there's a couple of them might be a little light on some mulch. No big deal. I can throw some in there real quick, and then we're going to go and put our irrigation lines back down. Okay, so here's all the stakes we pulled out whenever we pulled the irrigation lines out. But what we've got is this right here, 1/2 inch Toro blue line irrigation line. I've got a little punch where we can go down through here, and I've got some in it already. Yep, there's one right there. There's one of my emitters. So what we're going to do is we'll go down through here, we'll set them in place, and we've got to put a few new emitters in for the trees that we didn't put in last year. But this is our bucket of stakes that we'd pulled out previously, and all we've got is just this little U shape. We put that in the ground, over it, hold it down. That way it doesn't move, doesn't go anywhere. You can mow right over top of it and no problem whatsoever. So anyway, here's our stock of blue spruces that we got in, and they look really, really good. So I have high hopes for these. Hopefully I don't kill them or nature doesn't take care of them. So anyway, there they are down through there. So I'm going to put a little bit more mulch on some of these. There's a little less than I'd like, but I'll get this put down here, and I'll set you over to the side, show you what I got going on. Alright guys, so what I have found is the easiest for me. Bring my mulch over, put it in a bucket, carry that bucket, I put about 1 per tree. I don't fill it quite up, but put about 1 per tree. That way I make sure I've got plenty of mulch. And this way also, you know, everybody can grab a tree. You're not just trying to grab handfuls or pitchforking, making multiple trips per tree. You make 1 trip per tree, done. Voila. Big time for a time lapse now, I believe. Good time for a time lapse. Alright guys, so got the mulch around the trees. Got it topped off there a little bit. There were a few of them that were kind of short. The oldest one, he's arrived to help. I think what we're going to do, I'm a little bit short on a couple of these irrigation lines and they don't have many emitters in them. So I think we're going to pull them up and put a new line down just to be on the safe side. That way we make sure we've got plenty, make sure we're long enough. So otherwise we're going to go through here, stake this other one down, get it in place. I'll show you what it looks like once we get her done here. Okay, so I want to show you here a little bit of what we got going on with this. So these here, we don't have any emitters already in. Couple of these, like this one here, not directly on the tree. May end up pulling it out. There's a little rubber plug you can put in place of that emitter. I can move it over about 10 inches and be right on the tree. But I want to show you guys here. I think we're going to do something a little different with this irrigation. So what I've got down here is I have ran a 2-inch pipe from my pump down there. Hello, dog. There she is, Belle. Yep. Hi. Okay. So anyway, ran my 2-inch pipe from the pump down there. I've come up and I've made all these stand pipes come up, and they've just got a very simple half-inch barb in them. It's a nice, easy little screw on. You see right here where it's got the flange on it, tightens down on there, holds the pipe in place. So what I realized on the other field, I've got enough flow out of this 1/2-inch pipe for these emitters that I don't need a standpipe for every row. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to go through, cut 2 out per row, or I'm sorry, cut out 2 rows worth of these little standpipes and just put the pipe back together. That's why I haven't really covered it up very well. I realized that after it was all said and done. But I can run a pipe all the way down, come around back here, loop it back around, and I can hit about 3 rows with one of these stand pipes. I've got enough flow out of this 1/2-inch pipe that's what it'll do. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and I've got 1 union left. I'm gonna pull this next row up right here, cut it off, and use it for my next row, or put a new pipe down. I'm sorry, I'll just put a new pipe down there, run it down, and then we can eliminate at least this one here, and then we can rework some other ones. So stay tuned. I'll put you back up there and you can see what we got going on. Alrighty, so I want to talk a little bit about my irrigation stuff here. This is my little box of goodies I've got. These little guys here, I don't know if you can see those, but those are what I use to cap the end of the lines, the irrigation lines themselves. All you do with them, put the hose through one end, crimp it, slide it back through the other end, slide it over. It's crimped, it shuts it off. You don't have to put a plug or anything like that in it. Here's my takeoffs. I'm sorry, they're 3/4 inch male pipe. Go right into that. You can also get these with valves in them if you want to select certain rows, all that good stuff. Somewhere, coupling, real easy to put in. We're going to throw one in here in just a second. Here's my little punch tool. This is my punch tool. Put the emitters in, but I want to talk about the emitters for just a second. So that punch tool makes a little hole, puts a hole right smack dab in the tube. You can run it through it. They make, like I said, they make little rubber plugs go on the back side if you do happen to punch through it. We'll try not to, but it happens. And then they got a little barb, snap in there, done. So I figured it up. With my pump, it'll run 350 gallons per minute at about a maximum of 40 psi. The filter I have, it'll run about 230 gallons per minute, which is way more than enough. And it'll run all the way up into 120 psi. It's got a 120 mesh screen in it. That way I can keep any debris out, stuff like that. But sometimes little stuff does happen to get through there. So that's where these emitters come in. These are pressure compensating emitters. So therefore it doesn't matter what pressure you have, they're always going to put out the same amount of liquid. These in particular are 2.1 gallons per hour. As I've said in previous videos, you only have to, I only run that pump for about an hour at the most. Puts 2 gallons of water right directly on the tree. But the one nice thing is you can take these apart, the top screws off of them while they're still on the line. You pull that little orange deal out. This here will be squirting water out if it's running. You just take it, rinse it out, and then screw it back together. That way if any little debris gets past your screen, you can fix them right there. I usually go through about every third watering, check them all, make sure they're still running, unless I'm watering pretty heavy every day, just because of how dry it is out. So I'm going to splice this together, and I've got to run the youngest one to a basketball practice. We'll come back out and finish this up here in a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do here is pull out the old handy dandy knife, take our pipe, get us a good clean edge on it. These are very easy to use. This is how all this goes together. We can do this in a matter of no time. Push it on there, screw that out. One side's made. Oh, we'll figure right about there. This stuff's cheap enough that you don't have to worry if you mess up, if you happen to run over it with a lawnmower or anything along those lines. Keep you a few splices on hand. Done. Now it's together. I'll take and put a little stake in right there. We'll come back through, put all those in. So we'll run down here to the other end real quick. See that right there, dog? Nope. Okay. Yep. Close up. Okay. There you go. So on this, all you do, slide one end over, crimp it over, done. That's how you plug it right there. So I don't have it plug in here. I will reuse this because we will continue to expand. But for right now, I'm not going to cut the pipe out. Just do that. Done. And these two lines here, they're all going to be run off the one standpipe. We'll continue getting this done here. Get all these emitters put in, all that good stuff. Get some water put down on these. It is the beginning of November. It's going to be about 80 degrees today. So I want to get some water on them. There is a little moisture in the ground still. But in the meantime, we will get it once we get them watered and all that. I don't think we'll need to water them but about once this time around. We'll take and show you how I winterize all this irrigation stuff, and hopefully hopefully you'll learn something about it. So be sure to take and hit that thumbs up button, share the video if you want to share it with any friends, think there's any interesting topics in there that they might want, and hit that subscribe button so that way you'll be sure to stay up to date on what we've got going on. And as I said, I'm terribly sorry that we've had had a little pause in our YouTube stuff, but things happen, and hopefully we can get better from here on out now. Thank you guys, and we'll catch you next time. Can't forget those. Need to do a little mowing now that it's gotten drier out. Uh-oh. Yep. Proud dad moment. They grow up so quick.